Hello everybody, this is Greg29407 back with another edition of Shroud of the Avatar. We're here with our usual character, Kill Dozer. He is hanging out around the city of Kiln, which apparently is under siege once again. They're having some troubles over there. What I wanted to do today, though, was I wanted to go over a review of some of the Two Skull adventure areas that are around this area of Kiln. A lot of times when you're a fairly new player, you do the basic tutorial in the game, and then you do one skull areas such as the East Perennial swamps and that kind of thing, and you start doing the same missions over and over again, just trying to build up some experience. When you get to the two skull levels, though, you have a little bit wider variety of things you can do, and it's a little bit more fun. So Kiln, as you can see in the map here, is located right in kind of the center of the map. Central Brittany is right up here, just to the north of us, and Lake Casabo, my town, is right here. It's still not on the map yet. But so Kiln is pretty well located. Right over here is Desolus, right here. And so if we zoom out, it's pretty centrally located. And there are some really good two-skull areas around Kiln that are really good for newer players to get involved in. So what I thought I'd do is take you around to a few of those, a few of my favorites, and let you see what you've got. And different maps in this game allow for some different specialization, depending on what you're looking for. And if you have a little bit of knowledge about that information up front, you can really kind of make your game time maximize in terms of what you're trying to enjoy and trying to do. So I thought we'd get started. Here's Kiln, and if we go south of here on the main road, we're going to get to this place called South Midmaer Way. And that is a two-skull area. So let's head down that way. Let me make the map a little smaller here. All right, let's head down there. Unfortunately, it's nighttime again. It seems like I only play this game when it's nighttime in the game. There's a skeleton. I'm going to kind of go around him. I'm just kind of going down this main road. And there's South Midmaer Way. I'm headed due south right now. All right. This is a map, an adventure map that is a clone of another map that's over in Perennial, the Perennial Coast, called White Guard Foothills. That is a great location. So if you are spending time in Perennial Coast, that's a great place to be. Let me make this bigger again so we can take a look at what we've got. All right. So as you can see, this is it has a nice little loop that goes around. We come in this way, and there's a little bit of everything here. This is a resource-rich map. It's fantastic for getting resources. If you're trying to get trees, or nightshade, cotton, everything's here. This is a great area for new players who are just trying to build up some resources they then turn around and either use for crafting or turn around and sell. So we come in down here, and this map is broken into several different areas, depending on what you want to do. So here we are here, and this whole area right here where I'm circling is mainly bandits. There are some wolves here too, but this is mainly an area of bandits. So if you're looking to fight bandits and get their weapons that you can then either sell for in-game gold, or you want to use for salvaging for wood and metal, then this is a great place to be. And we're going to go around there some. Once you pass this bandit area, and this is the bandit camp right here, up in this area, all along here, is all wolves and bears, and there's some really good ore. There are some trees up here as well. Lots of ore. You can go back and forth in here and just basically farm ore. It's not a huge amount. It's not like going into a spectral mines or something and finding massive amounts, but it's really good for early play. This area over here is kind of a generic area. You have bandits, you have wolves, you have bears, you have a little bit of everything. And same with this area down here. So these are more generic. What I did when I first was playing Tiffany, I went around the loop. I would make the loop, and I was doing White Guard Foothills, so we started here on that map. And I would just go around the entire thing, and I would skin all the animals I killed. I would get all the trees. I would get all the ore. I would get all the cotton. all the Nightshade, and there's a lot of Nightshade in here, by the way. And it would take me about an hour to make the whole loop. And that works great. It builds up your XP pool. It's really good, and that works fine. As I got a little bit more experience in it, though, I would go into this map and do certain things. Like sometimes I am just looking to make some gold, so I will go around and do just this bandit area. I'll kill a lot of bandits. I'll take their weapons. I'll turn it in and sell it in to go to an armor or weapons vendor later on. If I need a bunch of trees, and again, I think if you make the loop, you can get about 25 to 30 trees, maple and pine. So for a newer player, that's quite a windfall. You can do really well there. So if I'm doing trees or wanting to do some ore, I would just spend my time right in this general area, just going back and forth, back and forth. I get a lot of animal hides too, but mainly those the ore and things. So this is like the Swiss Army knife of maps. It's one of the best maps in the game for newer players trying to get materials. So without further ado, let's go ahead and do some adventuring here, so you can see what we've got. I'm going to be testing out, get my buffs going here. I'm testing out a new deck that I just set up last night, so I haven't played it yet. Let me show you what I'm doing. Oh, that's loud. Holy moly. Let's see what we can do here. Visual effects. Let's bring that down a little bit. All right. Okay, so anyway, what I've done is I've gone ahead and changed my deck a good bit. I want to focus a little bit more on my range damage on this character. So I've got the first two slots are for all my range damage. I have lightning and chain lightning from the air powers. I have what else I did? Oh, I have stone arrow from earth, and I have searing ray from sun. So those are my four range damage powers. Then these next two slots, I have my melee powers. I have 3 bludgeon powers. I have air from air. I use discharge, which is an AOE close-in power. I have earthquake. I have stone fist, and so I've got 6 powers in those 2 slots. I've got rooted here. I've got 3 different light armor things. I've got dodge, evasion, and escape here. Defensive stance, which I'm not sure if this really does a lot of good for light armor, but I'm still using it. I've put berserk here, so I've got an extra slot. So I'm going to test this out. I don't know. I usually use 5 damage slots rather than just 4, but I don't know. We'll see. Let me make this big. Okay. So I'm going to go around and do the little loop here with the bandits so you can get a good idea of what we're doing. So this will also be a good test for my my new build here. And I have been now the White Guard foothills is exactly the same, just coming from a different location, but all the resources are in the same spots. Here we go with some bad guys, and I don't have any damage attack. There we go. Holy moly, that's not a good way to start off. Where are my powers? Come on, give me some powers. Oh, for crying out loud. Give me my powers. Okay. Oh, there's another guy. This is not a good start. I have no powers for ranges. Alright. That's not a good start. I don't know. That's I've got them in the first 2 spots because they're my most important powers. Nothing came up. One of the things I've been a little worried about is that 2 of my 4 range powers require reagents. And I kind of prefer the non-reagent powers, but I've only got 2 right now. I'm thinking about adding Fire Arrow as my 5th range power, but it's kind of, I don't know, it doesn't really work with the character I'm working on here. This is more of a Thor type character with, you know, the god of air and thunder and earth and all that stuff. And about fire, but I may add it anyway just for the extra damage. I also like having 3 slots for my main powers, but let's have 2. Okay, good tree here. Sometimes there's some ore right up here. Sometimes not. So you start to make just the usual cycle. I'm not going to do the whole map, of course. I'll take well, less than an hour now. Here's some ore here. It's pretty reliable what you've got. We'll just hit the highlights here. Then we'll go over a couple of other maps I like. So we're coming around, and there's generally a couple of spots of ore along here. These used to always all be iron. Now it's mainly copper. But either way, it's fine. And we're going towards the main bandit camp. Here we go. Look at this. There we go. Nice. You know, my air elemental, I really do like a lot. He does a pretty good job. Before I started, I did get my 2 devotionals. I used Sacrifice for the plus 1.5 combat health and Honor for the same for focus. So I don't have to do a lot of stopping in between battles. So again, we got some nice trees in here. Come on, target. There we go. Thank you. Who's shooting me from behind? Oh, another guy's trying to sneak up behind me. Where do these guys come from? Jeez Louise. Man alive, look at this. And again, no range powers. I think I do need an additional power just to fill the slot. Jeez. I'm not sure how many of those guys got behind me. Again, I'm over leveled for this particular map anyway. So if you're a lower level character doing this map, you need to be really careful of these guys because they could do some real damage. Man, I'm not happy with this at all. Another guy's behind me? Where'd he come from? I'm not sure how these guys keep showing up behind me. Anyway, these guys generally do respawn pretty quickly. So if you're looking to just kill a lot of bandits, like we are, this is the place to do it. All right. Take a long walk around the tree here. Now there's always a Nightshade right here. Again, the Nightshade is hard to see, but there's a lot of it here. In one round, you could probably get about 20 or 30 Nightshade. I'll give you one that time. So we'll do this little loop around here. As you can see, there's quite a few in the map down here. You can see there's quite a few resource nodes. Now, the last time I checked my adventure level on Kill Dozer, he is now adventure level 42, which is still fairly low in terms of most big-time player standards, I think. I think he's making some pretty good progress, though. He's very fun to play. Come on. This guy will not fight me. There is a bug right now where you can see, I can't see his nameplate over his name. It says, you know, large gray wolf. I can see it up at the top of the screen, but not over his head. It's a bug with this latest build of the game. They can't seem to figure it out. So hopefully they're working on that. Sometimes you can see the other players' names. Sometimes you can't. Sometimes you can see enemies' names over their heads. Sometimes you can't. It's almost random. There's some ore. We are now on, this is build 42, and this introduced quite a few problems. Now, there's some more Nightshade right here. That's usually in the same spot. I'll probably spend more time on this map than on the other two we're going to go over, just because there's a lot of good things to see in here, and also because for selfish reasons I'm trying out this build, which the jury's still out on. All right, this is like the apple tree in the Garden of Eden. It's right in this spot, and a lot of times when you're in here, you see this soldier up here, these bandits up here. A lot of times you try and get this, and then that tree right there. These bandits that will like come at you all at once. They are all over the place. There we go. Nice. Nice. That's more like it. I need to use rooted too. There we go. Ah, he ran away. All right. Yeah, I'm always scared of running out of reagents. That's just oh boy, I hate doing that. What if I run out? You know, they can be a little expensive too. So, because you always have to balance how many reagents you're going to carry with you and how much weight that is. There's always a tree over here. And, you know, you're trying to balance out, you know, if I have all my reagents with me, but then I don't have enough room in my backpack for resources and things like that. So you have to go back and turn stuff in a lot more often and, you know, that kind of thing. Or sometimes you'll go out adventuring and you'll go, oh, man, I sold all this stuff. I made 500 gold. And then you had to buy new reagents. It was 600. So, oh, man. All right, so here's another guy. We're going to end this here in a minute. So you can just kind of keep going round and around this general area here and collect all sorts of resources, but we're going to move on. When you get to this point up here, this is kind of the dividing line. There's generally a couple of wolves here. One ran away. There's a tree here, and there's generally, sometimes there's some garlic over here. I don't see it right now, though. It's there or not there. On the White Guard foothills, this is the entrance to the map. So you started this. It's a slightly better entrance than the one we have here, because if you come in right here, you can make the choice if I want to fight the bandits over there, or if I just want to get resources on the other side. And I have no... A little slow getting me my range powers. I like the range powers, but I coming up very good. Here's some more ore here. So from this point, and for about half the map, we're going to have mainly resource collection. It'd be a lot of wolves and bears, but then a lot of trees and ore, nightshade, that kind of thing. So let me open this up a little bit more. Right here. So all of this, there's a area in here. There's a nice area for things here, and then all around here. The other good thing about this map is it's good for ranged and melee characters. As you can see, it's very linear. It's all these hills and mountains, so there's really kind of one way of going through here. So if you're a ranged character, or I'm sorry, if you're a melee character, you're not going to get ambushed too easily, except for, as we saw earlier. You'll be much safer. So it really is a good map for both ranged and melee. I'm not going to skin every single wolf we come across. I just want to give you we'll just do this one. So it's really good for melee too. We're going to go to a map a little bit later, which is not a good map for melee. It's really good for range, but if you're doing melee, it's a tough one. But this is good for either type, so I really like this a lot. I use the White Guard Foothills on Tiffany, who is a polearms character. I use all melee on her, and I'm also doing very little magic on her. I want her just to be a regular, non-magical fighter. And this has been a great map for her. She's picked up a lot of experience over time with this one. And down here, there'll be some wolves and a bear usually. Bear's usually up here. These wolves are a little scared of me. Here's a nice tree here. There's a tree up there. Here's some good nightshade. If you're lower level, these wolves will be not as accommodating to you. I'll get one nightshade per thing. Here's some ore. From here, this piece of ore here, all the way on the round to about here, and then up this way, is where a lot of your ore is going to be. So you'll find a few spots, and if you just kind of keep going back and forth over the same spots over and over again, you'll get a lot of ore. Another tree here, another tree up here. There's a cotton bush back here. Sometimes there's another tree here. Nightshade here. Get that one. And there's generally just a handful of 2 or 3 wolves in this area. So you get some skins from them as well. Up here you want to look for more ore along these edges here. They'll appear in these little nooks and crannies at various times. Here's some. I'm a little short on ore, so I'm going to pick up what I can. Double check these. There's usually a tree here and a wolf here. Here's some more ore here. Another wolf there. Again, if he was appearing yellow, I don't think he'd be running away. Here's another exit, which will probably take in a few minutes. Here's some more nightshade. Here's a nice piece of cotton, which is almost always here. Now, the way that I'm pointing at right now, this cuts around. If you don't want to go through here, this is one of the generic areas. There are wolves and bears. There are bandits. There's a little bit of everything in here. It's a little tough, though, when you're a newer player. It's a lot of stuff coming at you, and you can be ambushed here. They'll come up behind you and things. So if you want to bypass that, you can go this way and kind of cut through. there are some challenges here too. I usually go up this road here a little bit when I'm doing my gathering. There's generally some ore right in here somewhere. Not every time. There's a tree here, not every time, but usually there's ore right in here. Sometimes you'll find some bandits coming up this road. You can fight them as well. Then I can turn around and come back up here. And then there's usually some ore right over here. Yep, here's some. There's some more up here. Up. You pilferer. Doing too much damage there, was I? Wow, I missed an awful lot of shots. He's just coming from right around the corner, which is, again, the more generic area. If you're going to do the cycle, go around and around the circle, then you just would keep on going through there. And you get lots of good XP in your XP pool, a lot of good resources. Let's open this up again. So, yeah, so that's the map. We would go back through here, through this area, then back through this area, which, again, is another kind of a generic area with lots of resources and bears and wolves and bandits, and back to the entrance. So you can make the cycle. You can just fight. A lot of times I just come in here just to fight the bandits, do a lot of that. Or if I just need a bunch of trees, I'll just kind of, or I'll go along like I just did here. So that's what I do. Let me see what I've picked up so far here. Yeah, so although I've skipped a lot of stuff, I picked up just 4 hides. Let's see, 9 copper ore. It's pretty good. For the time we spent, 9 granite blocks. Picked up 3 maple trees, 6 pine trees, and we skipped a bunch of trees too. I mean, we didn't hit them all, so that's not bad at all. So I'm going to go ahead and exit right up here, and we'll go through the next map. So again, this is what I call the Swiss Army knife map. It has a little bit of everything. You can do it all, or you can specialize in certain things as a newer player. So I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. Oops. Right now, in the game's history of development, we have some incredibly bad load times. So I just chopped out the part where we had to reload. Hopefully that'll get better. They said they promised they're going to work on that. See, right now we're having a potential network trouble. For crying out loud. So we'll see if this lasts or if I have to relog. All sorts of issues and bugs with the game right now. Oh, I don't want that skeleton catching me. Leave me alone, skeleton. I think I'm going to get kicked out of here. This is very bad. I'm going to this North Midmaer Way. I don't know if I'm going to make it. We will see. Okay, well, we made it. We're in North Midmaer Way. It's on that same road that the South Midmaer Way was, just north. So, let's take a look at the map. All right, so we start up here at the very top of the map, and this is a great location to be. Now, this is, again, a clone map. This same map appears, for instance, on the Perennial Coast. It's a 3-skull map there is called Solace Forest. And on that one, you start over right here, and you come through. This is much nicer. Now, this map is very different from the last one we did. And the reason for that is the resources here are not as good. This is not really a map you're going to go to if you want to collect a lot of trees and cotton and ore. You will find some trees, cotton, and ore, but not in great numbers. You'd be if you were looking for ore, this would not be the place to specialize in. This map has wolves and bears on mainly like around the outside. In the middle, though, are skeletons, and these skeletons are tough. I mean, they're really, really hard, and they generally stay in the middle, except for down here. Down here, they are actually all over the place. I don't think I've ever been to this part of the map in the very middle because the skeletons are so tough that, I mean, the problem with skeletons is they pop up out of the ground, and then you have a friend, so you're trying to fight those two, and as you're fighting them, another one runs up behind you, so then you're in an ambush. It's really tough. You do get some good weapons, though, so if you're going to come in this map and you want to farm some weapons, you're going to have to fight some skeletons, but if you can get them maybe in this general area where they're a little thinner, down here, they're really thick. They're thick as fleas. Be careful. Be careful. But up here, they may be a little thinner. But the main reason I'm bringing here to this map is for this. When you're a newer player and you've just gone into been able to do some two-skull maps, this is a great place to be because, as you know, when you're a new player, you have so many powers you're trying to level up. If you go into your skill bar, for instance, I've got my bludgeon stuff. You have all these powers you need to level up. You need your attack powers. You have some innate powers. You've got to get strength and dexterity and intelligence and health and focus. And if you want to do bludgeon, you're going to have all these bludgeon powers. And if you're going to do air powers. There's so many things. And there's only so many things you can have turned on at the same time, or else you're going to lose your pooled experience. And my pooled experience has gone down quite a bit. Let me see here. Oh, I'm still doing this. Whoops. Just keep that on focus. Okay, took that a little too high. All right. So the problem is you can't boost everything at the same time. You have to pick and choose, as I just found I was picking the wrong thing. So, for instance, what I'm boosting up right now is nothing here right yet. I'm working on this searing ray. This new power. I'm working on my boost to intelligence and dexterity and strength. My air elemental, and I've got all these turned off right now. So I'm trying to get my XP pool up a little bit better. So the good thing about this map, though, is this top part of the map right here, right where we come in. As we're sitting here, if we go to the left, which is to the right on the map, this is a big section of all wolves. Lots of wolves. So you can kill a lot of wolves and skin them, and skinning them will give you some crafting XP as well as hides. But you can use your powers and boost up your skills really fast. On this side, if you go to the right, this is wolves, but right here, this section right here, this is all bears, brown bears and grizzly bears. This is fantastic. These bears respawn really quickly. So if you're really careful and keep your eye on what's going on, you can just stand and go around in a circle here and just kill one bear after another, and that will really, really boost up your XP pool and your powers really fast. What I like about doing this whole top section is you can take your character and just boost up one thing after another. So, for instance, if you said, "Oh man, I don't have very many bludgeon powers. I want to use bludgeons. Let's say we want to use blades, and oh, these are really low, but I need to boost these up." Well, turn one of these on and just go around and just fight wolves one after another. Fight wolves, fight bears. If you get tired of bears, do the wolves again. You keep going back and forth. Once this gets up to whatever level, 30 or 40. Turn that off, turn on the next power, do the same thing. When that goes up, turn off that power, do the next one. And it's amazing how fast you can get your brand new powers leveled up to a high enough level to be, relatively useful on missions very quickly on this map. This is really, really helpful. So I've gone through here and just going around over and over again. Now this is better for range characters than melee. Melee works fine too, but range has a bit of an advantage because if you're fighting bears and wolves, if you can take off a third to half of their health before they even reach you, you're in pretty good shape. Melee, you gotta wait a little bit more. But of course, with melee, you're hopefully going to have tougher armor and stuff. But this is the last map was even melee or range doesn't matter. This is slightly tilted in favor of ranged. The next one will be very tilted to ranged. But anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'll just do a couple of these just to show you what I mean. Let's make this map a little smaller. So you can see where we're going. I'm going to go on this side because that's where I spend most of my time. Let me turn on get all my boosts going. That one. And I'm leveling those up, which is nice. Now, sometimes when I'm doing these, and I've got all these wolves and things, which is great, but I get back to my base to turn everything in, and I'm out of reagents. And since I don't have any money, it costs me a lot. So sometimes you will need to fight some skeletons. Because the good thing about the skeletons is they generally give you some pretty good weaponry that you can use to pay for your reagents replenishment. Again, there are some resources here. Just not. That's not the reason you're here, really. Oops, too far away. Turn it. I think I do need another arrow attack. I'm not going to do that. It's just, oops. You guys don't need to watch me skin yet another animal. Okay, here's where the bears start. This whole section is all bears. Got him rooted. Which would be great, but I don't have any attack range powers. Come on. This is very poor. Yeah, I don't like when... That's the one problem with the deck system, is when I need a power, I'll take any of the range powers, I just need a range power, and none of them are there. That's not good. I need some more slots there. But I've got 4 of those. I got 4 powers here. 4 of them are 4 slotted, 1's 3 slotted. Should be enough. They shouldn't be coming up dry like that often. He's rooted. There we go. And there's some cotton, and there's some trees, and there's some, what is this? Garlic, okay. See, there's a garlic, cotton and trees all right next to each other. There's probably some ore. I think there's some ore there too. So yeah, this is a nice little spot. But this area right here is where I just run around and you can kill bears for an hour, and just have like an unbelievable amount of stuff, and your XP pool really goes up well. Let's see if I can spot where these skeletons are. I'm going to go south to the road. And again, on this section of the map, they generally stay inside the circle. You'll see some wolves and things in here too. There's another tree. But when you want to find the skeletons, you can't find them. There we go. This is an entrance to one of their lairs, I think. Yeah, see, look at that. 2 of them came up right at the same time. I like that discharge because it's an AoE. Okay, I like that. So yeah, I got a corpse wax, which I need. 2-handed sword, which is good. Same thing. So these guys do pay off. They can be a little tough. They did take half my health. I'm in leather, so it's light armor, and I should have hit an escape button. I've got escape, evasion, and dodge in this one slot. I always forget to use them, which is stupid on my part. All right, so anyway, that's the basics for this one, North Midmaer Way. Again, it's great for leveling up your newer powers. If you just need XP and need a good place to go, these wolves don't all run away from you. But it is nice to have some range powers so you can catch them when they do. So we'll head back out. All right, so we will meet again on the other side. Okay, we are back. Now we're going to head down to one last mission. It's map. It's what's that thing called? Am I heading right? Yeah. It is Kill Way. Where am I going? Northeast. I'm going the wrong way. There we go. All right, so I want to go south. We can see Kiln over there, so I'm going to run past Kiln, which is still in siege, by the way. An hour later, they're still in the siege. I'm going to cut through the desert. And this is fairly close to South Midmaer Way. It's just on the other side of the river over here. Now, this particular map we're going to is again, it's Two Skull, of course. This is really not melee friendly. This is more of a ranged person's map. This is I took Tiffany through here a couple times on the. This is also a clone map. I can't remember the name of it, but it's a Three Skull and some other places. And it's tough because all the bandits in here use arrows, and they are just attacking you like crazy. This North Quell Way is the name of it. This is Two Skull. So let me show you what this is all about. This is for melee characters, this is a stinking nightmare. For range, it's much nicer. I will say this. If you're playing a melee character, my recommendation is to have at least 2 range attacks. On Tiffany, I use the searing ray from the sun thing, and I also use a stone arrow from Earth. Those are the 2 that I use for her. You just need a couple of range attacks to just do some kind of damage to someone who's running away or refuses to be near you, like an archer or some kind of elemental. You just have to have that. The other power that I found is useful for her is in subterfuge. If you're playing a melee character, this power right here, engage opponent, quickly engages target from a moderate range. So what happens is, if you're a melee character and you see some archer is standing, away from you, click this button and your character will run right over to him. Now you notice here the range is 8.1 meters. As you level this up, though, it goes farther. So I think I've got it leveled up to where she can run like 15 meters now. So it's a little bit better. It looks silly as anything. The animation is awful, where they run tippy-toe towards their enemy. But it really closes the gap fast, and all of a sudden you're up in their face. You start using your pole arms, your sword, or whatever it is. So this is very useful for melee characters. Anyway, that's just a tip. Okay, so here's the map. And down this whole area right here is all animals. This is all wild animals. And you got some basic resources. You got bears and wolves, that kind of thing. Up here, right here, this is the killing fields. This is tough. They're all bandits. They all use arrows. And if you come in here with any kind of character, they're going to be all over you. They will surround you from all directions. You'll be seeing arrows hitting you in 4 different ways. So I generally avoid this area. What I do is I'll go through here, if I say animals, and then I come up the back way through here, and you can pick off some different bandits from back here, and then shoot some of these guys. The fun part of this map, though, is you come up here. There is a bandit camp. It's all surrounded, but it's kind of lightly defended. So you can come in here and you can just like kill all these dudes and take over their camp for a little bit. And so that's actually really good XP, and you also get a lot of weapons you can then sell and make some good gold. So maybe we'll head on up that way. So I think we'll go that direction. And oh, it's dusk, so it's getting late again. All right, let's get this show on the road. I may be talking a little faster in this one because I want to try and I don't want to waste your time by taking like a 2-hour video showing you all this. Oh, and then I did this, and one time I did this in the map. No one cares. So I'm just trying to give you as much information as I can in as short amount of time as possible. Hopefully it's not just talking too fast or just a wall of words. So I'm going to try and bypass a lot of the animals. You know what this looks like. There's some wolves there. Someone may attack me. There's a tree there. Some are going to attack. I'll fight the ones that do attack. I'll leave the other ones alone just so we can move it along a little bit. So I'm kind of taking a shortcut through here. And again, if you're looking just to get a bunch of animals, hides and stuff like that, this is a perfectly fine map to do that on. This is especially this lower area. A lot of wolves to choose from, a lot of bears. So this little back road here backs into this killing fields part they've got. And I wish I could see better. There are going to be some bandits up here. I hear somebody. Yeah, see? Where's that guy shooting me at? There he is. And there's another one. Okay. So they will come up behind you. And we're just kind of sneaking in the back. Now, right up ahead here is the big open area that we're going to just kind of peek on. Wish we could see it in the daytime. But they're fighting. These guys are fighting either some other player or just some animal or something. But they are bandits everywhere in there. And it's all wide open. There's like a little temple or thing there. And they come from all these different directions. Straight ahead there is an entrance or an exit right there. So they're from there, from over there, and they come up from back here. So generally I'll sit back here and pick off a few of them. If some of them get curious, they'll come back here and I can kill them. But what I want to do here is I'm going to come through this back way. Look at that dude. Put him to a stop to him. He can't get away. I'm really happy with that air elemental I've got. He's pretty good. He does some good damage. So I'm going to sneak up on this this camp, this bandit camp. There's a lot of these guys around here, but they're not too tough. They're limited. Again, I am over-leveled for this map, but even when I was not over-leveled, it was not too terrible. So straight ahead, I wish we could see better. This game is super dark. Straight ahead is the entrance to this camp. Ah. Now notice on the map. Oh, there's another one. Come on over. Come on, baby. Got some for all you guys. Yeah, look at that chain lightning, man. That's the way to go. Come on, kill this guy. Jeez Louise. Oh, someone stunned me. Another guy. All right. That was a little sloppy. Oh, that was a little bit sloppy. I'm going to blame getting used to my new deck. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's the reason. See if we can loot some stuff before they replenish in here. Let them know that we've been here. Bunch of losers. So again, as you could, if you imagine, if we had Tiffany just using her pole arms, that battle we just fought would have been much, much worse. It's just hard to close the distance with that many enemies in that many different directions. And that's what this map is really famous for, is having so many different directions. Okay, let's head for the exit here. When you're not fighting inside here, there's usually a few bandits over here, and then you can go over here and fight some bandits over there and some wolves. So there's quite a few things to do in this area. I do like fighting these guys. And the main reason for using this map is if you've kind of gotten a little tired of the previous two we just did. Sometimes I don't want to do those other maps. You know, sometimes you just want to change it up a little bit. Well, this is a good map to change it up with. So again, it's a little bit of everything. Not a lot of resources, but you get some good enemy attacks and things like that. All right. Well, that's about it. Let's. So we've covered 3 different things: South Midmaer Way, North Midmaer Way, and then this North Quell Way. And I think they're pretty good maps for newer players. Even if you've been around for a while and you've done quite a bit, like this character, I'm still picking up some nice XP. I'm still getting some resources that I need, so it's not a bad place to be at all. It's a pretty good location. And again, it's right in the middle of the map, so it's very convenient. What you can do is if you start to fill up your backpack, you can stop off in Kiln, drop it off, or go up to Central Brittany or wherever you have your main base of operations. You can get there really easily from here. You're not behind any control points. You can just get wherever you want to go. And it's a pretty good system. So I hope that helps out. For any players who are looking for some good two-skull places to farm or to just fight and build up some XP, here we go. So we'll call it a day. Until next time, this is Greg 29407 along with Kill Dozer saying arrivederci, and we will see you next time.